So fresh, so clean.
I want you in my life for the rest of my life.
So fly, so cool.
I want you to be my wife.
So fresh, so clean.
I want you in my life for the rest of my life.
So fly, so cool.
I want you to be my wife. You bring me joy like Anita Baker. Let me show you how.
Bullshit countdown. 10, 9, from 27 all the way to 1. You gonna do that now, or you gonna?
Have you not been paying attention to the show?
I'm like Johnny Depp. I don't look at my work after I record and I'm out. I don't need. I know it's good when I drop it. At least my side, I know it's good. I just want to know.
I wish you were Johnny Depp.
I'm like Johnny Depp. I don't look at my work.
I wish you were like Johnny Depp.
I'm telling you, I am like Johnny Depp. I record because I know one take, I'm good. And let's go. That's what they call me, one take Jake.
That's what they call you.
They call me in the industry.
Up in the BX?
Chill on the beach.
Yo! Hold on, a little technical difficulty. My lighting guy just came in. Whew. Whew. Thank you, Papa. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Breeze Shooters. Where the show that brings you news, sports, poker, and everything in between.
We like the tweeners.
I'm your host, Lou, joined by my good friend Christian Soto.
Yes, sir.
And I guess there's a lot of topics that we're going to jump into today, Chris. But let's start. Let's get the sad stuff out the way.
Sad stuff out the way. It's always good. We talk about the sad stuff. We end with the good stuff and uplifting stuff.
Yeah. So a rest in peace goes out to Black Rob. I don't know about you. Yeah, that Whoa song, man. That was so big and coming up. Was I in high school? No, I might have been out of high school. But it was a big song in my life because it was like it really resonated with the area. Everybody would put it on, and when that went off at the parties, everybody just got crazy. It was a good song, man.
Quick story. I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm on my way to a basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I put like whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Lou, the most I ever scored in the game. Yo, hold up.
Stories were that you shot for 30.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying
you ended up with 5.
The most I scored in the game, in an official game, okay. I think the most I scored, I think it was 36 points. The most I ever scored.
They must have been some scrubs.
It's not, Lou, it bothers me. It bothers me, your ignorance. Your ignorance bothers me. Because
don't make me get Milton on the line to validate the truth.
Listen, I smacked him around a couple times too in the court. I don't play no games, man.
Okay.
So
36?
That was my highest. But I remember one time going to a game and I was listening to like whoa, the remix, the long version is like 8-9 minutes.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cats on that.
A bunch of cats. 3 6 Mafia, Biggie, they did something with Biggie on that. Diddy came out, he did something too. Thing was, Lou, I've never been on a shooting streak. I was so pumped. And I could tell you I hit like 7 or 8 shots straight.
Really?
Straight. Then I was pumped up. First of all, my team was the great underdog. The team we were playing against was in first place. and wasn't very well liked. You had a couple of come mierdas there, you know, and my best friend, one of my best friends in Puerto Rico, he's in the sideline, and Lou, I'm letting it go. No, it wasn't. It was mid range. I was on fire mid range. I went on the right side. Was all my shots. Bang, bang, bang. The best player in our team and probably in the motherfucking league was this young kid. He actually played superior in Puerto Rico, or me. Very high IQ, very, very smart point guard. Very good player. Phenomenal scorer, too. And he kept feeding me the ball. So at one point, I went to the other side. And I missed. And it was like my 8th or 9th shot that I but I never felt, I don't know, you're a shooter. I'm pretty sure you've been in streaks like that. But we lost the game by like, we lost the game. We lost the game by like 20, 25. But like Whoa will always be a part of that. And I think I scored that game. I scored like 18 points. It wasn't, but if I remember it because I've never been in a heater like that day. And like Whoa, I drove to the gym, and that was the last song that I heard. And I always liked it, but it got me that pumped, Louis.
Was it popular out there too, that song in Puerto Rico?
I don't think it was popular because in Puerto Rico you always got the Spanish rap. I don't want to say reggaeton because at that time the reggaeton. By the way, a lot of people might not, and I know I don't want to go off too much, of course, with it, you know, but do you know El General, the Panamanian dude, El General?
Yeah.
He's the originator
of the reggaeton,
the pioneer of the reggaeton.
Yeah,
he doesn't
that song is not that old. What's that? That's early 80s. That boom boom mommy.
It could be late 80s, early 90s, maybe. Yeah, around that time. So in Puerto Rico, you hear a lot of me. When I was over there and I was a kid, Vico C was a legend. You know, still is. Vico C to me is the greatest ever. You had a lot of underground. Daddy Yankee was an underground artist, very young. Evie Queen, and that was towards the 90s time. But not to go far off about the Black Rob thing. It like I said, I probably scored like 18 points, 16, 18 points, but I never in my life have I been in a freaking heater like that day. And then I caught a block, Lou. You know how Jordan used to. Whenever he did it to Patrick,
you know what, Chris, you know what? Let me get into the Black Rob thing because you're comparing yourself to Jordan now. And
no, I never said.
I don't want to lose the listeners. I don't want to lose them.
You know what? You're
Your
right.
imagination is very.
I get back to it. It was just, I just made a huge block behind the block, and the gym went wild. Go ahead, Black Rob. You're not gonna stop my shine, motherfucker. That's the start. I gotta finish my story.
Yo, Chris, just let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see your screen. Yes. Remember, you gotta click the little thing in the bottom if you're gonna put some audio.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You have one motherfucking job, and then you want to block my blocking story. And you know, you want to block me, and I never compare myself to Jordan. I was trying to explain to you. His block on Patrick on centers when they would post, and he would go on off the weekend help side and block from the back.
All right. So Black Rob, the New York City rapper, formerly part of Sean Diddy's Combs Bad Boy label, has died. He was 52 according to the New York Times Rob's former label mate Mark Curry announced Rob's death in 2 videos posted on Instagram this Saturday. Variety also confirmed the passing. Additional sources. I don't know where to begin this, Curry said in his video, but I thank everybody for the donations. Rob passed away about an hour ago. In the second video, Curry said that he was with the rapper when he died. Rest in peace to my brother. I was there with them. Curry said. Puff, I'm not going to talk to Puff in 15. I haven't talked to Puff in 15 years. We talked today. Curry continued referring to Combs. This is the beginning of a new us. Rob made sure he knew that he had to do this before parting this world to make sure we were all right. That's what he did. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of people. Part of the problem too is that a lot of people are talking about they're trying to really get at Puff.
Get at Puff?
Yeah, they're trying to get at Puff. They're trying to say that he wasn't there to help. The truth of the matter, we really don't know what happened, but it looks like Puff was attempting to make connection with Rob because news was circulating that he wasn't doing well, that his situation was pretty bad, his health, and I think his his living situation wasn't that part. I don't know if you saw a video of him, but the guy was like, he was a shell of himself, Chris.
I couldn't recognize him from if they wouldn't have said it was Black Rob, I wouldn't have recognized him.
And I think the issue was kidney failure. I think he was suffering with something with his kidneys.
I was about to ask you, is cause of death known?
I don't know yet if it's been determined, but I did hear something that it was some type of kidney failure could have been a contributing factor. So, and when your kidneys go, that's bad because what happens is you're generally living off dialysis, and which is tough because you can't live without that machine. Either that or you get a kidney transplant, and that's not the easiest thing in the world because there's a waiting list for that. So again, just speculating, it could have been something else, but it was kidney failure. So transitioning from that.
Before we get there, Lou, because I think we and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we are. I think it's good that we speak about whenever you're gonna for up and coming artists, actors, singers, comedians. If you're gonna sign with a company or a record label or a big entity, yes, I said entity, and I think that fits there perfectly. No shot, Tito and Milder. Thank you very much. It's very good to read the fine print. There's a lot of vocabulary in contracts that we might not understand. We might gloss over it. It might mean something more than what we believe it means. So for future, because I hear a lot of people complain. I've heard a lot of rumors of artists, of Diddy's artists, complaining about Diddy, and that was the Mace situation. Also the locks were asking.
Hey Chris, and I'm glad you brought this here because it was funny because I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and that they're going through something right now where the normal three are not together. They have some substitutes, but anyway, they were talking about this whole Black Rob thing with Diddy and all that. And I think Joe Budden's a little biased because Diddy is because Joe Budden is part of Revolt or something like that. So somehow Diddy's kind of his boss, but without trying to be too biased, he was talking about. He goes, at the end of the day, these guys had a problem with Diddy, but at the end, they were able to kind of come full circle and be friends again because it is a business. And if all these guys gave out great contracts in the beginning, guess what? They wouldn't be moguls. The May situation is a little, it's a little tricky because he's trying to own his masters, so his family lineage can eat for the rest, for however long that is, So he's thinking long term, and that's the thing. A lot of guys, when you sign these contracts, you got to make sure that you remain the owner of your masters because that's where the money is. Once they own your masters, and that's it. You only make that temporary money up front, little touring money, but at the end of the day, any redistribution deals or anything like that is with the owner of the masters. They're the ones that can release it. So yeah, so the Locks, they had those issues, but I think they were able to work something out with Puff years after the fact. But they went through an ugly phase,
Exactly.
and but with Rob, I don't know what Rob's situation was.
No, you see,
Even Loon, remember Loon just came home from jail.
yeah.
And Loon said, hey, I never had a problem with Puff because he goes, I own my masters. He goes, I knew from early on that masters was the key thing. So he goes, he didn't have a problem with Puff. He goes, Puff gave him his masters. So it's about when you go into those negotiations, what are you negotiating for? Are you negotiating for, a good deal, or are you just trying to get on, grab that first signing bonus and, spend it? So,
so that's what I'm talking about. Be very before you keep spreading rumors or get the proper information. Like I said, I'm not with Diddy. I'm not taking any sides or anything, but we never hear. They're very eager to sign to get that signing bonus, $500,000, $1 million.
And at the end of the day, I can't knock. But some of these guys are coming from situations so fucked up, Chris, that dude, I could understand what you're going through. I could understand, like, this is your out. You just trying to get out of a tough situation. But the thing is, you're kind of putting yourself in a hole because you everything you created, that baby you created, you're essentially signing it over to somebody else, and you're not going to reap the full benefit. So sometimes. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's all I had.
It's funny because I just saw a couple of days ago. There's this black kid that sang. He did also. He played Michael Jackson in the Jackson movie. I forget his name, but Disney offered him $2 million. We're gonna give you $2 million. Sing the songs of the Lion King or whatever.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story.
His mom said no.
Hey Chris, I don't even think it was $2 million. I think it was less than that.
They offered him where he said $2 million.
Oh,
then
okay.
His mom said no. We got to negotiate royalties. So they wound up, and you reminded me when you said when you used the word lineage. Is that the word that you use, lineage?
Family lineage.
Yeah. So they wind up giving him $100,000 plus royalties. He says, my kids, my grandkids, their grandkids.
He's straight.
They're gonna because every 20, 30 years they reboot the thing. They remaster it or whatever. And every time they repackage it and they sell it, you get a check.
Hey Chris, not only that, I think it's part of a Broadway. You got the Broadway show. I'm pretty sure he's getting cuts of that, because they use the song on the show. Yeah, so
everything, the toys, everything is crazy.
As part of a franchise, when you do something part of a franchise, you're paid forever.
And that his mother was very smart in making that deal.
Like Cube with what you call it, Friday. Right? Remember we were talking about that was his baby and he was going to put all the money into making that. But who was it? Was it Warner Brothers that came in?
Paramount. I think it was Paramount. Told them,
they talked them out of it.
Don't risk your money. We could take that hit. The fucking thing made over $300 million.
Yep. And I think they only put like $2 million in it because it wasn't a big production.
Yeah, it was a $2 million movie. It was a $2 million movie. That's what.
And nobody in that movie got paid. And nobody got paid in that movie. Everybody was making like maybe 10,000, 15,000 at most.
I heard 5,000. I heard like the old the dad, the one that passed away, Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah.
He said everybody got $5,000 except Chris Tucker and Cube, I guess. But everybody else got $5,000.
Hey Chris, so Saturday, were you like most of the world Waiting for the Mark Anthony concert that never happened?
Actually, no.
Get out of here, really?
No, as you know, my girl and her sister are huge fans. Um, um, and I had told them earlier in the week. I told them because they were planning a feast. They were planning to get dressed up like if it was like they were gonna go to Madison Square Garden, you know.
Yeah.
So I stood home and I watched which we'll talk later about that if we have time. I watched the Thriller fights. The YouTuber
Jake Paul,
the YouTuber Jake Paul against the retired UFC wrestler Ben Askren, and also there was a UFC fight. But that Thriller, we're gonna get into that after today if we have a chance, and I'm gonna get into that because that's some hood shit. Like if that take Oscar De La Hoya was high as fuck, and he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight June 5th.
I heard about that. Let me recap real quick. Mark Anthony.
I got a couple of things to say about this Mark Anthony thing.
So Mark Anthony was forced to reschedule a highly anticipated virtual concert after technical difficulties prevented it from happening. The singer issued an apology on social media after fans who bought tickets waited hours to ultimately be told that his Una Noche concert, which they paid money to attend, would not be happening on Saturday, April 17th as scheduled. First of all, I want to say thank you. No, you know what?
I love you. You could watch it 20,000 times. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for it's been a tough 18 hours, like I said, and we did it. And now it's out in the universe. And when before you could only watch it once, now you could watch it within 24 hours 1,000 times if you want, 20,000 times. So thank you. I'm finally smiling. I feel like the world is a little bit off my shoulders right now, and God bless you. Enjoy, sing, dance. God bless.
This is classic. This right here is classic.
No.
So at the end of the day, bottom line, Mark issued an apology. And by the way, people are idiots, and I'll explain why. People are idiots.
Why are people idiots, Chris? Go ahead, tell us.
People are idiots because you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go online, and all you hear is people bashing Mark. People bashing him and bash. I can't believe it. He did this to us. There was a lady from Chile. Chile is part of Mexico down there somewhere. You know, it's all the same shit. So I'm like, really, lady, really? So I start fucking with her. So I said, why are you attacking Mark? You must be a super fan. I said, no, I don't even like the dude. I don't. He's a great singer, but I'm not. I won't. Oh my God, go and like die if I don't see him. So I go to her. She was very upset. Very upset. So after I fuck with her a little bit, I tell her, I said, listen, do you understand that Mark has nothing to do with this? Do you understand what it takes to stream worldwide a concert? You know how fragile that is, and how many things could go wrong? Oh no, he did this to me when he came to Chile. And I'm like, you see, if he keeps you waiting in a live concert, I understand for you to be upset. You know, but if you were that upset, why did you pay to see him today? See, these are people you gotta be very careful with, because these are people that are idiots. The world is full of idiots, Louis. And this lady was one of them. I don't know the lady. Like I said, she was from Chile. You know my take on that. And I'm just saying, if it was a live concert where you were going to go to Madison Square Garden to a Coliseum to see him, and he kept you waiting for an hour before he came out, I understand you have beef or whatever. I understand, but this was online. and it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. That's all I gotta say about that. But people are idiots. You know, it is what it is. How did you? I know you had like a little gathering, and you know.
Yeah, we you know, as a group of people, it was quite comical because so within that group, two females had purchased the concert, and so.
But if you're gonna watch it in one house, why two people purchase it?
No. The plan wasn't like that initially. What happened was that they had purchased it, and then somebody said, "Hey, you know what? We should just all watch it together at Big Mike's house." You know, Mike has a nice big TV, a nice 85-inch screen TV.
Okay.
So we're there, and so Mike is the technical guy for that evening. So they're trying to give him the word. You know, you ever type on your TV? It's not the easiest thing in the world. You got to go back and forth with the letters, so whatever. So he's getting frustrated with that because Wendy's
was the password in English?
Okay, so Wendy was giving him the password, and she was saying it too fast, so he was getting frazzled there. So I was like, "Oh, easy, don't worry about it, whatever." So we do numerous attempts. Then all of a sudden, the super fan Anaris, she goes on his website. She's looking this and that. So they go to what's the guy, Alex Sensation, because he's supposed to have the after party. They're all in Miami, so they go to him, and he's giving updates. He's like, "Hey, they're experiencing technical difficulties, but he's still playing music, whatever." They're like, "Go to Mark Anthony's YouTube page." So everybody goes to Mark Anthony's YouTube page, and you're just hearing music. So it's funny because women love this guy so much, Chris. The show was supposed to start at 8. They were holding until about 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, there's no way this show is gonna fucking happen at 12 o'clock at night. But they're holding on and they're just watching the TV. Oh, he's gonna come on. He's gonna come on. And I'm just laughing. I said, he ain't fucking coming on. But you know what? Like you said, it was beyond his control. What they were doing is probably something that hasn't been done yet, or you know, a worldwide stream. Because you're talking about the guy was trying to. Initially, I saw Canada, USA, but then I heard Guatemala, El Salvador, like all these other countries, they were streaming.
So I heard Russia.
Yeah, Russia too. Yeah, he's a big crossover act.
He is. Look at that.
So,
you know, but
of course, the system crashed, and
I watched all my fights. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So I mean, it didn't happen, but we ended up seeing the show the next day for free. Yo, what a production! It was phenomenal. I didn't feel the same energy because it's natural. After he finished the song, you heard 3 people clap. I mean, if you go to his shows, he really gets off the crowd's energy.
Yeah.
But the production was amazing. Daddy Yankee was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was.
The band is always good. So I mean, I've been to 9 Mark Anthony shows. This one's number 10. 9, man. Never been disappointed, man. I caught him across the street from Marlboro Projects way back in the days with India. They were doing like freestyle. India was the one that was putting them on. She was bringing them on. And that's when I saw him. And I'm like, look at this fucking crackhead, because his hair was real long. Oh, yeah. He had the little beady glasses. And then his career just took
off. Favorite part of I watched the following day. Favorite part for me was when Daddy Yankee came out, you know, the love that, you know, it's like, it's humbling when you see 2 people like that. Whenever somebody says Puerto Rico, and I think Daddy Yankee is that type of dude. He's always, you know, bigging up Puerto Rico. But I think at one point, I don't know if you heard, at one point he goes, "You could get up and dance." I guess there was a few people probably there,
friends and family,
yeah. But very good. He gave it for free.
Yeah, no, but Chris, he's a comedian, because of one of those things. You know, if you ever go to a show, this guy gets paid a lot of money just to hold his mic out, and so everybody can sing his songs. So in one of those, there's a guy named Ray. He goes, "Ray, and he's giving the microphone so Ray could sing, but you didn't hear nothing. It was like, because everybody jokes him like, yo, dude, come on, you work for your money. He's just there holding the microphone and everybody's singing,
Yeah, and I didn't know it was like a celebration of his 30th anniversary or something like that in the music business.
Oh, was it really?
That's what he said. I thought that's what he said, but
he looks good, man. 30 years, he looks good.
Yeah, it looks very good. Well, I won't say very good, but yo, a little side note. Bad Bunny's gonna start a tour.
Really?
It's around the corner. The average ticket, Lou, it's $800 in the nosebleeds.
He's that big now?
I don't know if it's that he's that big. I don't know that if we're coming off the pandemic and things are opening up and corporations wanna extract as much money, as much stimulus money as they could extract. But I saw tickets $800, $834 in nosebleed section, all the way up to like $2,000.
Wait, Chris. Wait, you got to slow this down a little bit. Are these small venues? Because if it's small venues, then I can see those prices because it's a limited space, so you can get that money. But if you're talking a football stadium, Madison Square Garden, there's no way they're going to be charging $800.
I don't know if it's a small venue, Lou. I don't care if it's in my living room. I'm not paying $800 to see Bad Bunny, and I like the dude.
If you got it, you got it, man.
No, yeah, but the venue, I don't know. You know what it is? Also, it might be a certain amount of people allowed, so it could be. Let's just say it's the Barclays. I'm not saying it's in the Barclays. It's somewhere in Jersey. And let's say the Barclay holds 20,000 people, and they're gonna say, okay, we're only gonna bring in 7,000 to 10,000 people to have the social distancing and meet all the protocols. I think that's why. I don't know. This is just me. I'm shooting the breeze with you. This is what we do. That's the issue.
No, you could be right, because if you're gonna rent out a venue, they probably still want their regular price. So, and if you're not gonna have the max to make money, it's only gonna be, let's say, half or a quarter, and you got to double up on the price to so everybody can win. I don't know though. I don't know. It just seems like that's a lot of money for Bad Bunny. I like him and everything, but I don't think you're gonna get the average person to pay out $800.
Like I said, and the thing is, there's gonna be X amount of people there. It's gonna come out on YouTube next week. So I don't, like somebody record them, a nice recording, and they'll see, But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's crazy.
a little boy from Puerto Rico, he's made it big, man. $800 is that's big time.
I just remembered. I what I was gonna say. Wow, see, my alpha brain is working. We're not getting sponsored yet, but I'm working on some sponsorship. It's okay. Here we go. So, like we always corroborate. Fuck. We always check the information. Make sure you check that information. I don't want to listen. This is rumors. I saw a little seat, in the venue, and it was the nosebleeds, and it was $830 some odd dollars. But Lou, on your side, you're the brains behind the operation. Just double check that and give it to the people.
Don't give me that bullshit, reverse psychology bullshit. Listen, people, you know where to go. Google, and then you can curse out Chris later. But Chris, moving on to other stories. This other story was a little sad to hear. The young black boy that's walking in his community, and I think the guy was a military veteran, and he approaches the young black boy and he asks him, "What you doing here?" This, that, and the third, and he starts telling him, "You got to leave." And the kid, I gotta commend him because he showed a lot of poise by keeping tensions cool, because he could have easily exploded. And Chris, the size of that guy compared to the kid,
he would have killed him.
The guy would have hurt him big time. He would have.
And I'm pretty sure South Carolina. I think that was South Carolina, right? I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I think it was the Carolinas. I'm not sure if it was South or North.
He probably has the guy's an army
veteran,
soldier. He probably has guns in the house.
But the guy was jacked up. He didn't need guns.
Yeah,
But the crazy thing about the story is that the kid lived in the community. He lived in some part of the community, and the guy's telling him that he has to keep on moving. And he goes, "You got to leave this way. There's only one exit." So the kid tells him, he goes, "Yo, there's multiple exits." And he goes, "What's going on? I'm not doing anything wrong." Then the wife and a friend, they chime in and they're like, "Oh, we're going to call the cops." And the kid goes, "Go ahead, call the cops. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just passing by," or whatever. Good thing is that this other woman saw what was happening, that the kid was in distress. So she took out her camera and started recording. And she goes, I wanted to make sure nothing happened to him. So she started recording. So long story short, I think the police have arrested the guy.
Third-degree assault.
Third-degree assault. And it's not, no, it's not assault. I think assault, the police have to physically see it. I forgot what it was, because he smacked the kid's hand and his phone fell down. I think his property damaged. They got him on some bullshit.
I read third-degree assault, but if you wanna go leave.
No, I think that's what they were going after, but I think that the cops can't give you that because I think they have to see it. I could be wrong. I know this
dude lost his job too and everything.
Did he really? Oh, good.
That's what
Hours of peaceful protests outside the home of Jonathan Pentland turned destructive overnight. Members of the Columbia, South Carolina community outraged over this caught-on-camera incident.
You better walk away.
That led to the arrest of Pentland, an active duty soldier.
You're in the wrong neighborhood.
The incident happened Monday. Pentland is the man you see on the right in red. The 42-year-old is stationed at nearby Fort Jackson.
Or what? What are you going to do?
In the now viral video, for over 2 minutes, Pentland is seen berating the man for walking in the neighborhood.
You either walk away or I'm going to carry you out of here. What do you want to do?
He demands to know where the young man lives.
I live here, sir. Where? Where's your house?
And after repeated threats, gets physical.
You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
Pentland this morning is charged with assault and third-degree battery, and if convicted, could face a $500 fine and 30 days in jail. Witnesses say police initially said they could only charge Pentland with destruction of property after swatting away the young man's cell phone. But the sheriff says he acted quickly after seeing the video, which has now attracted millions of views online.
We're going to hold those responsible for those accountable.
But listen, I might be wrong, because at the end of the day, you're telling me that the third-degree assault.
No, Chris, you don't even have to be convicted anymore now. Like if video comes out of you and it goes to your job, they can let you go because they don't want to deal with that backlash. You saw BML was out there, Black Lives Matter. They went to go protest in front of his home. Yo, they were deep. They were like, yo, the guy was like, no, you're wrong. You're supposed to be protecting our country, protecting the people. He goes, you're not an honorable person. This, that, and the third. They were out there. They're out there.
Reminded me of something.
What?
What's with this the head of the Black Lives Matter lady buying a whole bunch of property, like almost $2 million of properties?
I didn't even hear nothing about that.
Yeah, man.
Really?
It doesn't look good.
Well, let's see what she's doing with it first, right? I mean, if you're building a community for low-income housing, something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I will promise the people.
That you will get back to them on that.
I will promise the people that I will look into that, and in our next show, I'll shine a small light on it, and we'll keep it moving, because that's how we do.
Yeah.
But the kid looked shook, like he was afraid.
Chris, you didn't see what the man was doing. He was manhandling. Every time he shoved him, like the kid was coming off the floor. That dude was like 3 times the size, and he was just waiting to pounce on him. Like I said, I gotta commend the kid because the kid kept his cool. If he would have said something slick, that guy was just waiting on anything to lay it down.
Yeah. That's
So,
it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. A lot of horrible shit has been happening, man, and
which now we have to prepare ourselves with the outcome of the Floyd verdict. How that goes, because I'm telling you that there's a possibility that could just create more tension than we have already right now.
Lou, you know what they were trying to say?
What's that?
That the defense brought up this. You know that he was towards the back of the car in the floor. No, don't laugh, motherfucker. This is serious shit.
No, I'm laughing because I know what you're talking about. I know where you're going. Yeah.
Yo, they
it's an
actually
exhaust.
Yeah, that he caught a heart attack because he died because of carbon monoxide poisoning. Are you serious right now, man?
No, and some folks already came out. In order for that to happen, you would have to be exposed 72 hours for it to take your life.
No, not only that, Louis. I don't know. It might not take 72 hours, but you have to be in an enclosed area.
Yeah, enclosed area at 72
outside.
hours. Yeah, you're outside. And he was 8 minutes? Was almost 8 minutes?
And 16 or 17 seconds?
Yeah, so they're crazy. I mean, they're dragging it, they're really pulling
No. They're in the final arguments now. I'm following the case.
The prosecutor for the Floyd family, though, they're doing a hell of a job. They're doing good.
Yeah, they dropped the ball with something, and the judge gave him a little slap on the wrist and told him you can't bring that up now, because if you do, I'm not saying it was you did it intentionally, but if you do, I'll have to declare a mistrial. It was something about a doctor and probably about the carbon monoxide. It was something about the autopsy that they forgot to share.
Oh, but what's interesting though is just that this trial has been going on for 5 weeks, and we have video footage. We saw it happen. You would think something like that would be,
open shut case.
At most a week, but it's just to show you I think everybody's really nervous how this is going to play out, and I pray to God that everything goes, well, that more folks don't end up getting hurt off this. That we try to get some type of normalcy back. You
know what I always like to see? I haven't had the chance. I like to see the jury. I like to see.
Were they for this trial? Are they showing the jury?
I don't think they're showing the jury, but that's what I'm trying. I see, and I can't tell you yes or no on that one because I'm not 100% sure. But I like to see the jury. Us like poker players, like I like to see people's faces, and take a guess. Yeah, this motherfucker's gonna. Yeah, he might go. He might say that it was just that the dude had the knee on the neck, and or this lady, she looks petrified and stuff like that. But then the closing arguments and hopefully justice is served. And
so that's the only thing you can ask for, man.
I thought you were gonna talk when you mentioned the Army. I thought you were gonna mention the Army Ranger in the gas station.
Wait. It gets better. Hold on, I got that one.
Hey.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Listen, I'm a betting man. You fucked up 3 times now. I think 4th time, I'll bet my money you're gonna get it right. Let's go.
No.
Open the door slowly and step out. Get out of the car now. Yo, guess what? I'm a veteran too. I'm gonna obey. Get out of the car. Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
I'm honestly afraid to get out.
Yeah, dude, you should be. Get out. Get out.
Get out the car.
Get out now.
I have not committed
You're being stopped on a traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now. You're under arrest you're being detained, okay? You're being detained for obstruction of justice.
I'm actively serving this country, and this is how you're gonna treat me?
Back up, Daniel.
I didn't do anything. Whoa, hold on.
Daniel.
What's going? Hold on. Watch it.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. What are you, a specialist, corporal? What are you?
I'm a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be. If you just comply.
Oh, this is fucked up. Sir, lay flat. Lay flat. This is fucked up. I can't fucking believe I'm being treated like this. And I'm fucking
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
So this is a black Army lieutenant who was pulled over and terrorized and beaten, even though police knew he'd done nothing wrong. So
that was bad.
And this happened last December. So Army Lieutenant Caron Nazario was on his way home with a new SUV when the lights of a police car appeared behind him. Rather than pull over on a narrow, darkened street, he proceeded just 1 minute and less than 1 mile down the road and pulled into a parking lot of a gas station, which, by the way, Chris, that is smart. If you ever fear that your life is in jeopardy, from this situation, I learned don't go fast, put your hazards on, and you pull into a well-lit area where there are people there. There he was confronted by 2 police officers who proceeded to hold him at gunpoint, pepper sprayed him through the window of his vehicle, and threatened him with death. According to the Associated Press, Virginia police officer Daniel Crocker radioed that he was pulling Nazario over because his vehicle lacked a license plate and had tinted windows. He also described Nazario's 1 minute low-speed drive to the parking lot as an eluding police. This to Crocker justified calling the stop a high-risk felony traffic stop, which justified calling for backup and approaching the car with a gun drawn. Except that the temporary tag for Nazario's recently purchased vehicle was clearly displayed in the rear window of the SUV. If Crocker had missed it intentionally, it seemed impossible that he would have not seen it during either the pursuit conducting well behind. So that was a smooth transition. I just hope you noticed that. It was pretty smooth. So it's crazy because this guy, one of the arresting officers appeared to be Latino, Chris.
Yes, the guy pepper sprayed him.
That's the thing that the other guy, the young guy, you could tell he was a rookie, and that right there shows you the whole dynamic with the police force in terms of hierarchy and younger guys. Because the younger guy had empathy at one point where he looked like he wanted to go open the door to kind of like stop the shit from escalating. And as he was getting, not to open the door, to help the guy with the seatbelt off, because I think he already had gotten pepper spray and he didn't know where the hell he was. He didn't have his marbles. So when he was getting close, the other guy, the Spanish guy, tells him, the Spanish officer says, "Don't you do that, move back up." And the guy abide, he moved back. But it's just a crazy situation. And then after all that happened, they had the body cams on. They go tell the guy, he goes, "Yo, don't make a big thing about this, all right?" They wanted him to dead it, just to leave it alone. And all this was captured on the body cam. And then the guy, made the report, whatever. These guys lose their jobs.
I hate the fact that the whole situation is disgusting. But to me, it's even more disgusting how of what appears a Latino person do that, act that way.
Chris, it's anybody. Chris.
No, it's disgusting.
No, Chris, you know what's disgusting?
But I have a problem with, and I'm sorry, Louis, to interrupt you, but I have a problem with like I've encountered Puerto Ricans that are racist, and it pisses me the fuck off. How the fuck can you be racist? Don't you know where we come from? Don't you know that if you that we're made up of 3 strong races, and African is dominant in our bloodline? Don't you know that?
But Chris is deeper than that. That's alarming and it's bothering that it's a minority person that would do that to another minority person. But
Yes.
Chris, the thing is, when you see the guy, he has all his army military gear on. At that point, it doesn't register. Hey, he's a soldier. Why am I keeping at him like this? I'm going to slow it down, ask him for his papers, and be like, "Hey, thank you for your service. Have a nice day." Just let him go on his way.
Especially,
you're going to treat him like a fucking criminal.
The fatigues, anybody can get fatigues.
No, he had the boots. If you see those beige boots with the beige fatigue pants and the top, he had the full gear.
What I liked about what the dude did, and he did it perfectly, was his hands was always visible.
Yeah.
God knows he would have got shot. Thank God he didn't. His hands was always visible.
Question, Chris. That scenario right there, and the times that we're in. Well, actually, that happened in December. But with everything going on, do you think it would have been better for him to step out the vehicle to deal with the situation, or to do it the way he did it?
No, I would have stepped out. I would have stepped. See, but the problem is, Lou, it's easy for us. It's easy for me to give you this answer now.
No, I know. Well, you're in the moment. You're in the
moment. The adrenaline, the fear, everything that's going on. There's a reason why he drove slowly for another mile to go into a well-lit place.
Yeah, because he knew something funny was going. What was this with Virginia, right?
Something could happen. So he knew it. So I would have gotten out the car, but because I would say I would have gotten out the car just to try to, but I don't think he. As I look at the tape, I don't think he. I think he was scared.
He was scared, and
not remember, you have to put your hand here to get the seatbelt.
Yeah, no, and he was smart in that sense, because had his hands would have went down, it would have gave them a reason. But I always say in those situations, if you see the energy level starting to rise, is it better for your safety just to come out and comply? Like, all right, officer. But that doesn't guarantee that you're not going to get stomped on when you get out.
Yeah, no, but at least you know what I would comply, but in an escalated situation, you really don't know. Any movement could cost you your life. But off the bat, answering your question, I would try to comply. And if I get stomped out, then we move it from we take it from there. But I believe that every 3 to 4 months, policemen everywhere should undergo a psychological evaluation. I believe you remember a few years ago, they put a chinito in Brownsville or in Bed-Stuy, and he wound up shooting into a dark hallway. And he killed a kid. You remember that?
That was in the pink houses. Yeah, he was working in the projects.
He put a chinito from the suburbs, he was used to listening to ABC News, Fox News, CNN News, NBC News, and all you see is a minority of black robbing, attacking. You already go predetermined, and so the police force has to be a little bit more diligent and mindful where to place certain police officers in certain situations. How you gonna put up a rookie police, and he got crucified?
Mm-hmm.
He got crucified. I think he lost his job. I think he went to prison.
Yeah, because before he called the ambulance, he called his union rep. He goes, "Yo, this just happened." So he probably could have helped save the guy's life had he acted quicker and called the ambulance. They would have came out. But Chris, real quick on that point though, the common thread that I see in a lot of these situations is that the person that's being pulled over, they always want to know why they're being pulled over. That's the question that they ask. And this young gentleman kept on asking, but what did I do wrong? And what I always see is that the cop doesn't give that information right then and there. So I don't know if they're taught that, or if it's a situation where let me get the person under control so it doesn't get bigger. Then at that time we can have the conversation. And I think that's where they have to kind of look at the process. It'd be like, hey, you're being pulled over for such and such. It's easy for me to say, but I never walked in a police officer's shoes. They probably know if I tell you offhand that, hey, I'm pulling you over for this, you might react a certain way. Now my life is in jeopardy. But I always feel like that's the disconnect that's happening.
I think that, and it's tough. It's tough, and I don't want nobody to, please don't misinterpret my words.
No, because we have friends on both sides. So
exactly, we have friends, dear friends on both sides. But I believe I've always been taught to comply. You know, listen, if the policeman, we've been stopped. Listen, I've gotten out of many tickets just talking and yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I'm sorry, you know. But always, I got stopped. I got stopped in Buffalo, Lou. I'm lying. I got stopped in Buffalo, but then later that day, I got stopped in Syracuse, and the cop came to the, and you know why they stopped me? I had my youngest daughter. We were in Canada. We were just coming from Canada, and I had my youngest daughter in the back seat. And I guess, you know, it's an 8.5 hour drive. My daughter was laying down, and I guess at one moment she had the blanket, and then and he stopped me because of that. He asked her questions. How old are you? Are you being held? And all the time his hand was in his gun. And all the time my hands were in the steering wheel. He asked me for my license registration. I said, officer, this is a rental, but I'm gonna get you. And I gave him my license registration. He gave me a ticket for I think it was a seatbelt or something for my daughter. But
you told him it couldn't fit.
Yo, Luis, that's my kid. Be careful, motherfucker.
I'm thinking about the seatbelt for you.
Don't even try to fix it now. To my daughter, motherfucker. Be very careful. I wait weeks before your neck gets exposed, and I will stab you in your neck. Right now I can't see it, but when I will see it, I will. Oh, there you go. That's special effects. Anyway, going back to your original, I would suggest, and I know it's tough to say this now because of all the shit that's happening, but if I would have a son, I would, or daughter, it doesn't matter, I would tell them comply. Do not, if the officer tells you, and there's a lot of, regarding what you just said, there's a lot of like misinformation. I don't have to get out my car. Tell me why. You know, if you got nothing to hide, get out the car. You know, if you got nothing to hide, and and you for whatever reason, maybe you didn't did a traffic infraction. I'm using pretty decent words today, and and they just stopped me, just a routine check. I don't know if that's legal or not. But if I got nothing to hide, yeah, officer. I had this conversation with a few people, and most people, no, you have a right. They can't stop you. So if you're gonna go into a situation aggressive, you know what it is. My father always taught me something.
No, but Chris, I can see both sides. At the end of the day, we pay taxes, which essentially pays their salary. So there has to be like a process and a way things are done. And then on the other side, I understand their fear. Their job is not easy. We just got to find a happy medium. The best thing that I heard this year, I forget the guy's name, but his suggestion was that all this crazy talk about defunding the police and all
No,
that.
that I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that. But he says maybe creating another sub level or another task force that handle the routine things, like the routine calls, almost like mental health specialists. Because now when they go into a situation, they're going to address it a little differently. It's not going to be with force. It's going to be more psychological, strategic, how to talk these people down. Because listen, cops are like the military. They're trained to go in and and get things done, by any means necessary. So you know what? Why not save that group to handle other situations, and then you have subcategories of who you're going to dispatch to handle certain situations.
So that, you know what's funny about that's more or less of what I told you before regarding every 3 or 4 months going for a psych eval. Psych eval is psychological evaluation, and and get some type of training, just like you said. That's a great idea, Louis.
No, it is. And what you do is you're giving these guys another skill set. It's like you kind of like soften some guys up to handle more mental health issues, because those things, unfortunately, don't turn out, good at the end. But Christian, we're against the clock here. I know we wanted to thank a couple of people, or you wanted to thank a couple of people, shout a couple of people out. But before I let you do that, Christian, I just want to say, hey, Breeze Shooters Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, and if you're there, please subscribe. Another thing too, we're on Facebook. Please like our Facebook Breeze Shooters Podcast on our Facebook page, and follow us and share our content. Please, that's the only way we're going to have other folks to know about our page to keep this thing going. Me and Chris, we need people to follow us, subscribe, click, so we could keep this thing going. And as I mentioned in the past, we have a lot of big things coming, but we can only do that with your support. And for those of you that are supporting us, thank you. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Before I go, J Star, right? Joe Star?
Joe Star.
That's Joe Star. He is doing a sneaker drive to help folks in the Dominican Republic. I'm actually going tomorrow with I think six or 7 pairs of sneakers to drop off to Joe. So Joe, I will be giving you a call tomorrow. If you have sneakers that are not in terrible condition, I think he called them softly worn. The kids could utilize them over there because things are. Please reach out to Joe Star. I will be sharing his webpage or his Instagram. Reach out to him. What he's doing is a really good cause. He's doing this to May 15th. So if you have some shoes in the house, shoes, sneakers, or anything like that, please put them together and reach out to Joe Star. And with that being said, Christian, pass it. Oh, cover up, man.
I did.
We're still up. No, you got to tuck it into the elbow like this, elbow across the mouth.
My elbow doesn't reach up here, nigga.
I have the same problem too. That's why I wanted to see you do it. So go ahead, Chris. Is all you.
Yo, subscribe, motherfuckers, and share.
Woo! If you don't want to be all up in the videos,
you better subscribe. Yo, George, my IT guy, George Chunk.
Oh man.
Great. Yo, this guy
Four Deuce.
Yeah, Four Deuce. This guy is good, Lou. This guy is good. I gave him a laptop that I was ready to dump it. This guy brought it back from the dead, and I feel like I got I was about to spend fucking $1,000 on a fucking a MacBook, and this guy hooked me up. His prices are super, 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 super affordable. This guy is good. He's diligent in what he does. He breaks everything down for you, and he's always there to answer any question. I'm gonna give Lou. You already got some information. I want you to put it out there. Very professional. This guy's really, really good. Highly recommended. All right. I got some stories for next time. Right now, you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing you need to say. Yo, Lou,
No,
did you get?
just subscribe.
What?
Just subscribe, people,
Were you able
please.
to catch? Were you able to catch?
Chris, real quick. Yo, if you haven't seen Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker, phenomenal show. Just started. Season 2 was on Sunday. Started season 2 again. Great show. It's about what's his name? Nucky Thompson or
Bumpy Johnson?
Bumpy Johnson.
Nucky Thompson is Bulwark Empire. That's Atlantic City.
I love that one. That was a good one too. But it's the Bumpy Johnson story, but it kind of ties in Malcolm X, the Italian mob, and the war that was going on. Snowfall. Chris, have you saw Snowfall yet?
Snowfall is a classic. I haven't
Phenomenal.
seen the last season because I wait till everything comes out so I can see it all one shot.
Chris, this season is phenomenal. And they just got picked up for another season. So it's a good show. And if anybody out there, if you have HBO Max, I'm going to put you guys onto a gem. It's called 4 Blocks. 4 Blocks. It's about a Lebanese drug cartel family that operates out of Germany.
What's the name of it?
4 Blocks.
4 Blocks.
It's a great show. It's worth watching. I was running low on shows, and
I've been dumbing out, Lou. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm even ashamed to say this. I've been watching a couple of reality shows. Normally, I don't like reality shows. I don't, but I started watching it. The first 2 seasons on Netflix, and it's called "Are You the One?" Lou, when I tell you, this is like in Puerto Rico, we got a saying, "Es un arroz con culo." Look, arroz con culo. It's like these young people, you know what? They're 23, 24 years old, and they tried, and so they they failed in so many relationships. So now they come to the show. In this show, they matched up, but they got to figure out who their perfect match is. And it's 10 weeks. They go to Hawaii. They go to Santo Domingo. There's a season they did it in Puerto Rico. The season that I'm watching now, it's in New Orleans. But the thing is, yo, Lou, it's an organized orgy up in that motherfucker. It's an adult show, by the way. There's too many crazy shit going on for your kids to see. It's crazy. So I'm over here thinking. So I'm trying to make sense of this shit because I know, like I said, I'm not a reality show dude. I dumped out a little bit and it became entertaining. That's what grabs you. It becomes entertaining. So
it sounds like 90 Day Fiance. It's one of those things that just you get hooked. And 90 Day Fiance is a phenomenal show.
Never watched it. My daughter, one of my daughters is a big fan of that show. But this show, 23, 24, and then you know what MTV does? Because the MTV show, Lou, they make sure there's liquor, there's alcohol up the wazoo. You see people, there was the first night they got a room called the Boom Boom Room. You already know what the Boom Boom Room is. And the first night, the girl hooked up with somebody. Then the 2 nights later, she hooked up with another dude. And I'm like, this bitch is trying to find her perfect match. It's not going to work like this. Because if I'm the perfect match and you already fucked around with 3 dudes, and no, that's not going to work.
Yo, Chris, we're against the clock, Bubba.
All right, we're not against the clock. We're never against the clock. But I got something very nice to say. Here we go. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is what me and Lou try to do every day. We try to make you feel good. And that's it.
Boom.
Boom.
Hey, again, we always appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's humbling to hear you guys express the love and how me and Chris entertain you, and just let you know that it goes both ways. Thank you, and thank you for keeping us afloat, because there are times when we do this and you don't hear the love and stuff like that, and you kind of just want to teeter off. But I always hear good things, and it just helps us continue to go forward. But thank you, peace, Remember, subscribe and share us. Share the link.
Share
Peace.
the link.